From a happy celebration of a baby on the way, to finding his career in the hands of a vengeful ex. Here's Zion Williamson's relationship drama explained. This drama has a happy beginning, as Zion and his girlfriend Akima announced they were having a baby girl. The couple threw a gender reveal party, and fans were treated to a video of the celebration on YouTube. The baby daddy even put out a heartfelt message to his daughter, saying that no matter what happens, her parents will always love her.
I don't know what the future holds, but mommy and daddy love you. You don't know nothing else in this world. Know that mommy and daddy love you.
We all know that gender reveal parties usually end in disaster, and sadly for the couple, this was no different. But we're talking about a totally different kind of disaster here. You see, it turns out that the Pelicans' MVP was keeping a secret, and that secret was Mariah Mills, an adult film star that he was dating on the side.
Hey, what's up, gang? It's your girl Mariah.
Or was Akima the side chick? That's clearly what Mariah thought. And feeling betrayed by this news, she went on Twitter to dump it all out for the world to see. Mariah claimed that Zion had been in a serious relationship with her, and that she was trying to be a positive force in his life, motivating him and saying he was going to be the next king after LeBron. She also accused his baby mama of being toxic, blaming her for his weight gain and sleepless nights. While revealing some explicit details about their sex life, she went on to claim that he was planning on relocating her to New Orleans before warning him that her own period was late. So that was that. Before I go on, some of you might be wondering who this woman is. Well, Mariah used to work in the adult movie industry, where she's the most searched for actress on certain websites. But these days, she can be found on OnlyFans, where many women within the industry have shifted. With around 500,000 followers on Instagram, she isn't quite a social media superstar, but that might be about to change. You won't be surprised to know that she's been accused of doing all this as a stunt to increase her online following, which would definitely help her career.
This platform, and I went on there for advice, and I asked them, how can I be more sociable and how can I make friends?
The average person isn't really evil enough to destroy someone's life over something like this, though, and Mariah's got proof. Oh yeah, this story ain't over yet, because she came back with receipts. Her initial barrage of tweets included screenshots of texts between the two, where Zion's asking her if she could move to New Orleans to be closer to him, offering to pay her for her trouble. The receipts kept coming as Zion tried to put out the fire in private, urging Mariah to delete the tweets. But she insisted that she'd been hurt by his affair and the fact that he celebrated the baby he was having with the cheap fake. By the way, that was the most advertiser-friendly thing she said about Akima in the whole exchange. She went on to blame him for kissing her and treating her as his real girlfriend, ruining her life with his lies, while Zion continued to explain that they were better than this.
I mean, things gotten better. Things gotten a lot better.
And they could work it out if she'd just delete the tweets. So, did she delete the tweets? Nope. She did the opposite. She got a tattoo on her face of his name, though I'm not sure if the tattoo's real. She posted a photo in a tattoo parlor, but the needle's clearly hovering over her face, so she could have been just posing. Then again, she was definitely in a headspace where she'd get a tattoo that she'd regret later. It's not like she eased off Twitter either, because she stepped up her assault on Zion's public image, and her latest mission was to destroy his career. See? In the 2023 draft season, there were rumors that Williamson's team, the Pelicans, were considering trading him away. That might be a shock to anyone who remembers the Zion hype of 2019, but the truth is that he's been on thin ice with the team for a while. The Duke star turned out to be very prone to injuries, which meant that out of all the games the Pelicans played with him in their squad, he'd played less than half. He lasted as long as he did with the Pelicans because when he can make it to the court, he certainly proves himself to be the force of nature that everyone thought he'd be. Things got worse for the guy when he was recovering from a foot injury, and it turned out that he'd gained a bunch of weight, which Mariah says was Akima's fault. But who knows? What we do know is that the Pelicans agreed to extend their contract with him, though since he weighed 284 pounds at the time, he had to submit to regular weigh-ins, facing penalties if his weight ever went past 295 pounds. And while his weight got under control, he continued to miss games because of injuries, which is why the Pelicans were reportedly considering cutting their losses. That's where Mariah came in with another Twitter storm, directed right at the NBA and the Pelicans this time. She urged them to trade him, saying he's a bust and doesn't deserve to be in New Orleans. Why would that be a bad thing for Zion, though? Well, Mariah hoped that his new time would sign at a lower price, both because of his track record and because of her own shenanigans. But her tweets went from urging to threatening real quick. She claimed to have sex tapes, and she threatened the Pelicans that she'd release the tapes if they didn't trade him away, while also telling Zion that she was out to serve him justice and make him lose his sponsorships and reputation. These threats were where she crossed a line, namely Twitter's community guidelines. I mean, Mariah basically threatened Zion with posting revenge porn. There was only one way that could have ended. But the tweets and the warning are out there, and so is Mariah. She doesn't need Twitter to ruin Zion's life in this way. And the Williamsons are already in damage control mode. Even though the basketball star hasn't made a public comment about the scandal, he did make a $250,000 donation through the Zion Williamson Foundation to the Jefferson Parish Schools system in New Orleans. And at the charity event, his stepdad, Anderson Lee, spoke to the crowd. He said, among other things, that he saw Zion as his son and he loves him. You could probably fill the dotted line there that he loves him despite everything that's going on.
As my son, and I love him. You know, when I was a child, I walked like a child.
This was a subtle gesture, and he might have to get a little less subtle, because a third person has entered the fray. Yamile Taylor, an Instagram influencer, has shared her own experiences with Zion, making it very clear that she wasn't doing it for clout. She accused him of gifting expensive things to his other, more famous girlfriends, while treating her differently because she's not an adult star. She also said that if he moved Mariah to New Orleans, she'd join her there. This is a tough spot for Zion to be in, and you've got to wonder what this means for his career. Well, the guy has his fans, and they seem to be on his side, clowning on Mariah for things like getting that tattoo. She also claims that she's been receiving outright hate and threats of violence and death, which is easy to believe when you think about how crazy NBA fans can get sometimes. The fact is that, in the celebrity world, having affairs really isn't a big deal anymore, and you can tell that people are desensitized to it. While Mariah's right to complain about how she feels, she's really making this worse for herself more than anything else. His track record at the Pelicans had been better. I don't think we'd be having a conversation about his future in basketball. As things stand, though, Williamson's proven that he has a poor work and personal life ethic. And even though this scandal might blow over, another could come along someday. Still, scandals like these happen all the time in the NBA, so he might come out okay after all. The one thing that could really destroy his career now is the alleged tape, as those are still unforgivable curses in the celebrity world, and Mariah gets that, which is why she's been threatening the Pelicans. Besides, why would any team sign Zion with a threat like that hanging over his head? The guy's entire career hinges on that sex tape, and that's gotta be an uncomfortable situation to be in. So there you have it, from Mariah Mills holding the keys to a whole career, to the happier times before this scandal started. That's Zion Williamson's relationship drama explained.